Hello guys, got another video for y'all. Man, today we're gonna do something a little different. It's a car that I've been putting off showing to my YouTube channel, but it's also a car that means a lot to me. It's a very special car. I'm about to explain to you why. For one, it's a 2003 Focus SVT. Nothing crazy. This car belonged to a very good friend of mine, James Newport. He was a military vet, passed away, and I found the car. One of my other good friends, we were at a Mustang meet, and we were just sitting down talking, and he's a mutual friend of James and I, and he said that he was going to get James's car to sell it. His daughter had asked him to, if he would help sell the car for her, and I immediately told him I'd buy it. Yeah, really no questions asked. I just wanted the car. I knew the car had meant a lot to him. He was, every time we got together, he rant and raved about the car, about how much he liked the car and how I needed to get a car. And and to be honest with you, I did have one back a while ago, but it was just a regular ZX3. It wasn't an SVT. Well, again, like I said, James passed away here, and I bought the car. I cut a deal with his daughter. I probably overpaid for the car, but it was the significance of the vehicle that really made me want to buy the car. And I knew he had put a lot into the car, and like I said, he really enjoyed it. And I didn't want to have somebody get a hold of the car and either tear it up or molest it, whatever it may be. I really wanted to make sure the car was taken care of. And I talked with his daughter, who I know pretty well, and I promised her I'd take care of the car, and the car would stay inside and be maintained very well. And that brings me to the video. So what I've done to the car so far is I just completely put a new Ford Performance SVT suspension on the car. I really think all the struts were original on the car. They just do not work at all. Both front struts were just absolutely gone. Like I said, I think they're the original struts on the car. Look at the bushings on them. Now this car has 198,000 miles on it. The car decided to blow up on me about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that. So what I did is I ended up buying another car. I bought another SVT Focus and bought it for the motor, basically. One of my good friends that I've known for about 20 years, who's also a vet, I called him up and asked him how he was doing and all that good jazzy business. And, basically, asked him if he wanted to do a motor swap for me, put this motor in, and generate a little bit of money for him. He's a great guy, and he's helped me out a lot through the years. And, we went back and forth. Back when we were young, we used to do some racing together, street racing and track racing, all that good stuff. So, he needed the money, and I was more than willing to give it to him. So I had a vet put in a motor in for one of my vet buddies. So we got a motor in it. And yeah, I've just done nothing but really work on the car. I put way more money into this car than honestly it's worth. But it's the significance of the vehicle. It's got MagnaFlow, full MagnaFlow, catback exhaust system on it. I bought sport springs. I put new tires on the car, new Hancooks. It had, when I got it from James, it had a little bit oversized tires on the car, and they were rubbing on the quarter panel. So I put these new Hancooks on there. Actually, a buddy of mine, one of my guys at work, he had a set of these tires, and so I did a swap with them and they were brand new when he had them. So I swapped them tires, and they fit this car a lot better. And the car, like I said, the car is lowered on the Eibach suspension. So again, we put a new motor in it. All the motor mounts are new in the car, including that right side motor mount that's about $300 from Ford. I started off replacing one motor mount at a time because the car really had a violent shake. And I knew about that right motor mount was expensive. It's a liquid filled motor mount, and they're almost $300 from the Ford dealership. And anybody that owns one of these Focuses, do not buy the aftermarket mounts from like O'Reilly and stuff. They're just absolutely junk. So spend the time, spend the money and get the good motor mounts for it. They're costly, but they're worth it. Everything I get for this car comes directly from Ford. Again, all the gaskets, the valve cover gasket for this thing from Ford is like $85. So the car is in great shape. It's a fun car. I mean, it's nothing like some of my other cars, but like I said, it's all the significance of the vehicle that makes it important to me, and I love it. It's got HIDs on it. I did do the front windshield in 50%. Did a brow on it, 15% on the doors and back core glass. So it's also has new Moog sway bar end links, bushings, all that good jazzy business. Something else I'll show you. James was fanatical about these jack balls. Why? I don't know. But when I got the car, the unfortunate thing about it is it was missing the jack ball. And I knew he was weird about those. And I immediately began looking for the jack balls. And for some reason, I know they're seasonal for the most part, but they're very hard to find now on eBay. They're $2 or $3 a piece. So I called around, and I found this manager at a Jack in the Box was nice enough. She said, I think we have some of those in the back. And she looked back there for me. She had a whole box of jack balls, and I told her I'd come down there and get some of the jack balls from her. So with that being said, I bought everyone they had. I wanted to make sure that the car never was without the jack ball, because that was his thing, and I knew how much it tickled him. So I told the lady, I said, I want everyone you got. And she asked me, what are you going to do with them? She thought I was going to resell them. I said, man, they're for a really good friend of mine that he passed away, and his car had a jack ball in it, so it'll never not have a jack ball on it. So did a Sparco shifter in it. Also, I got that from a buddy of mine at work that laying around, but it fits the Focus. So one thing you'll notice is the seats they're in awesome shape. He did keep the car in really good shape, and like I said, since I've owned this car, it's never slept outside at night. I've got plastic under the floor mats. Again, like I said, it just had an engine put in it, and I've had it back about 2 weeks now, and it runs great. We did all new gaskets and all that good stuff in it. And what's weird, I don't understand what his infatuation was with the SVT, because he had a Saline, and he had a newer 350Z, 370Z, something like that. But his deal was the Focus. Every time we got together, like I said, he always talked about the Focus. So it was imperative that I got this car. This is my buddy James. This guy right here was a character. Really nice guy. I used to work with James at a dealership. I really didn't get a chance to talk to him that much because he was in another department. But by a twist of fate, he was into firearms. And when I started my gun business, inadvertently, my other mutual friend basically introduced me back to James. This is several years ago. And I started building guns at his house. And, he showed me all the ins and outs of the stuff that he knew. And I quickly surpassed his skill level. And I had the awesome opportunity before he was deployed, his last deployment. He asked me to build a gun for him. He had been sitting on an AK kit, and I jumped on the opportunity just to help him as much as he helped me. because he opened his doors to me and, you know, welcomed me into his home and, you know, let me use his tools, his AK building tools before I even learned how to, you know, knew how to do this. So again, this dude was a great dude. He had a big heart, really nice guy. So this is it. I call this car my little James, but it is what it is. It's nothing fancy, but I love it. It's a good car, and I've put way too much money into it, but it's all worth it. I think they consider these like a Euro spec wheel. I don't know. And I'll show you the driver's seat. It's in great shape. Anybody that's into Focuses usually sees it and comments about the seats, about how good of a condition it's in. The front seat, the back seat's in great shape. I got some stuff thrown back there, but it's all got the original radio in it. Little dash pad that he put in it. Momo pedals. I did put a whole new shifter assembly in it also. The cables are an absolute biatch to replace. I put new cables in it. I redid the steering wheel in it, so it's been restored. Seats in great shape again, carpet. But that's it. This is my Focus SVT. My new plates. It's really weird because his name was James Newport, and on my birth year is 77. So it's just weird how I got a plate like that. I don't know. Whatever. But they're cool cars. When the motor blew, I actually contemplated selling the car and parting it out, just because, I mean, these cars don't bring a whole mess of money anymore. And I put it on Craigslist, and I got a lot of calls. People wanted parts. And man, just the more I thought about it, the more I just said I'm not going to do it, you know. I'm not going to part the car out. So like I said, got a new motor for it, bought a whole nother car, and it's back on the road again, and I love it. All right, thanks guys. If you like these videos, man, I don't edit videos. I don't know how to do all that stuff. You know, give me a like. I appreciate everybody, the few that have subscribed to my channels. I appreciate it. There it is, guys. My little Focus SVT. Thank y'all.